with Matthew at Big City Farms, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the CSA program that he runs. So Matthew, can you give us a little background on your farm?
Yeah, so it's called Big City Farms, and it's based right in downtown Indianapolis. You can see the skyline from several of the lots I use. And I use vacant lots to grow a wide variety of vegetables and some fruits that I market around town.
Okay, and so how do you sell the produce after you grow it?
So I sell it through a subscription program, which is referred to as a community-supported agriculture. And folks who participate, they sign up at the beginning of the season. They pay a certain amount of money up front, and in exchange for that support, they are able to pick up a weekly share of vegetables from June through October. And then I also sell to a few restaurants around town and a store.
And with your CSA, how much do you charge and what exactly do consumers get?
I charge $650 for, it's a 22-week season, and so it works out to a little less than $30 a week. And the customers, they get a ton of produce. They get probably 2 shopping bags full on average. And the types of produce they get vary throughout the season, but you know, in the summer right now we have fresh beans and tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and Swiss chard and carrots, all sorts of different things.
Okay, and what has been one of the biggest benefits that you've seen in selling through a CSA method?
I think it's that I've been able to, it encourages a closer relationship between customers and the farmer, so that's been really good. You get to know the customers more than if you're just selling at a farmer's market or a farm stand. And then I think that the customers, because they are participating in that sort of a unique setup, they get to learn a little more about the growing season. They learn a little more about the uncertainties of farming and the seasonality of farming. So it just seems to offer a lot more chances for positive education around growing vegetables and preparing vegetables.
Okay, and what has been one of the biggest hardships that you've run into with the CSA that you might not run into in other methods of selling?
I think one thing that I found is it's certainly with most folks, I think it's a lot to ask for the money up front, and so that's been some difficulties trying to find people who are able and willing to basically sort of put their money where their mouth is and support that sort of program. Now, you know, you could do sort of monthly payments or something. That would be certainly a possibility to ease that potential hardship. But I think ultimately the customers who have signed up, they've realized over the past 2 months that they are getting their money's worth, and probably more than their money's worth, and that it's a rewarding experience all around.
So you've seen a good response from consumers overall?
Yeah, I've talked with a lot of folks who are, you know, they tell me how they're preparing the vegetables or fruits that I grow, and dishes that they've tried for the first time, and talking about how they've found themselves eating more healthfully this summer than ever before, simply because, you know, once they've made that financial commitment and are picking up the vegetables, they feel inclined and sort of compelled to use them. And anyway, and so I think it's been a really eye-opening experience for them as well, which is great.
Yeah, and if a farmer is trying to add value to a farm that they already own, that might be a more commercial, grains kind of farm, would you think that this would be a good supplementary idea for them to grow a few extra vegetables and run a CSA?
Possibly. I think one of the difficulties that a farmer like that might experience with a CSA is that with a lot of, if a farm has its own CSA, is the only farm that's running CSA, they end up having to provide a really wide range of vegetables to the customers. And so one thing that I would like to see more of is farms that partner together to do CSA. So you don't have one farm that has to grow everything, but you could have a farm that grows, 5 different items, like tomatoes and peppers and squash. And then you have another farm that grows salad greens and cooking greens, and then another farm that grows, to try and basically it would take some of the pressure off those individual farmers, and they could still basically have the same outcome. But yeah, I think that as far as diversifying a farming operation, I think CSAs are a pretty decent way to go.
All right, well, thanks, Matthew.
Thank you.